And get some news in there.
And on Thursdays, as you can see, we wear purple.
Purple!
Apparently.
Which means royalty.
Yes, royalty.
Yes, so the royal wave.
No
there.
memo,
You get what I'm
but
saying?
total luck. We made it work.
That's right, that's right.
All right, let's get into some headlines today.
Well, new information about the Fury roller coaster at Carowinds. Just this afternoon, park officials released a plan to test a new support beam and reopen the ride. The roller coaster was shut down last Friday after a park goer spotted a large crack in one of those support beams. And the new support column will be delivered to the park next week. At that point, the park will run an extensive series of tests, including running the ride at least 500 times. A final inspection will have to happen before it reopens. They also plan to add new safety checks using drones to be able to see more angles of the ride. At this point, the park does not have a date for the reopening.
Police are still working to find who shot a woman at a July 4th celebration in Winston-Salem. Police say Sylvia McKellar was found shot after being shot in the chest on North Main Street.
She was transported to a local hospital today. We spoke with her and her sister about how a night of celebration ended in a scary way.
I don't know. It ain't never happened to me. I ain't never experienced nothing like this. But it seemed like they were shooting back there. You know, but we couldn't tell the difference. 1 minute you could sound like a gunfire, next minute sound like fireworks.
It was really a shocker for the entire family. One of the things that I recall from that day is, of course, we were all having a good time. And I had just come out of the house, just hugged my sister, and told her that I love her, and we were getting ready to leave.
McKellar is now recovering at home with her family. Winston-Salem police are investigating the incident. They believe she might have been struck by a stray bullet. The victim of an aggravated assault in Greensboro has died from his injuries. Police say Tevin Christopher Johnson was found on White Street after a report of a person in the roadway. He was transported to the hospital where he later died. Police say they do not know the nature of his injuries and do not have any suspect information at this time. We will keep you updated as we learn more information.
The Thomasville woman accused of stabbing her grandparents is now in custody. Archdale police say they received a call from a Sheetz gas station saying they recognized Kristen Lynn Billings. Archdale police responded and arrested Billings after a traffic stop. Police say Billings allegedly stabbed her 73-year-old grandmother and 75-year-old grandfather multiple times. They were transported to a local hospital and are in stable condition. Billings has been charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury, and 1 count of interfering with 911 communications.
In Greensboro, police are still looking for who is responsible for shooting 3 people Monday night, including a toddler. Police say 66-year-old Teresa Johnson and 21-year-old Cresty Jones were shot and killed on Blackmore Road in Greensboro. We received the 911 calls from Monday night. One person in the neighborhood called and described a car driving by and shooting. Take a look.
I believe somebody done got shot.
You do think so?
Yeah, I heard them. I heard them scream. I heard them screaming, and I seen a car speed off.
A 3-year-old was also injured in the shooting, who at last check is in stable condition. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers.
Well, we're getting some thunderstorm activity starting to pop up. It's that time of the day and that time of the year, isn't it? With these temperatures, not a real surprise here. 91 in High Point, 87 in Asheboro, 86 in Greensboro. You can see Alamance County getting some rain because they're at 76 in Burlington, 10 degrees cooler than Greensboro. So just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road. We'll show you the radar one sec. Tonight, overnight lows around 70. That isolated storm chance that we're seeing right now will continue for a while. And then tomorrow's high temperature, 89. All right, it is widely scattered, right? You can see them popping up here or there across the region. We get a little bit around High Point. There's that cell that's just to the south of Burlington, and then also some to the west of Winston-Salem. But when you look at this overall, I mean, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Alamance County, especially the northern parts of Alamance County for the next 45 minutes or so to an hour. And some of these may develop and then fade away and then redevelop again. So don't be surprised if you don't see this scattered all across the area. I mean, it is that type of a setup. We've got this trough over us that just adds to the instability, and it kind of lingers. So we still end up with that 30 to 40% chance of a late day shower. Now, once we get into the weekend and this cold front moves through, those rain chances do start to increase a little bit. So if you're in Alamance County, at least the northern half of that county, just keep an eye out. You've got some thunderstorms moving through with some lightning. 89 degrees for your Friday. That is a 30% chance of a late day shower. Better chances for the weekend with the passage of the front, 50 to 60% Saturday, Sunday. It's 88 on Saturday, down to 86 Sunday. Monday, 84, coldest or coolest, I should say, day of the week with a 50-50 shot of rain. Drying out and warming up next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, 88 and 90. And on Thursday, we stair-step it up to 91 degrees.
You may need to find a new place to do your holiday shopping. For Christmas trees, shops will soon close all of their locations. Other 70 stores, including the one here in Greensboro. Now, this comes on the heels of a last-second bid to save the company by filing for bankruptcy in May. It didn't work, and now Christmas tree shops will be no more. We don't know the closing date for the store in Greensboro, but we'll be sure to keep you updated.
The Greensboro City Swim Meet kicked off today. Thousands of triad swimmers and their families headed to the Aquatic Center to compete and watch the races. The annual event gives businesses around the city a boost in revenue. You might want to avoid driving by Westgate City Boulevard. Traffic may be heavy near the Aquatic Center.
And swimmers are in a great position for a summer job this year because lifeguards are hard to find right now, and pay is up for all summertime jobs. On average, hourly wages for workers 16 to 24 years old were up nearly 12% from last summer.
Now, if you're a prospective job seeker, you're looking around and you realize, wait, that job makes how much now? And you're starting to reconsider jobs you hadn't before.
This seems like a really good time to be a teenager looking for a job.
This is probably one of the more advantageous times, strike now while the iron's hot.
Summer jobs.
Yeah, summer jobs. I mean, I literally have been going around the Triad and seeing so many "we're hiring" signs for jobs that are particularly good for teens. I mean, of course, lifeguard is definitely one of them.
Summer jobs are so important.
Yeah.
I remember I loved working as a kid. It's just something about making your own money.
It is.
And it gives you something to do and something to pour into, something to be proud of, so you don't always have to go, Mom, Dad, can I have $20 to go to the movies with
and
my
meet
friends?
new friends.
Yeah, and meet
And
new
then
friends.
moms and dads will sometimes say, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not this time. My kids this summer, they did something unusual to my twins. One of them said, I want to go see if I can work at a hotel. And I was like, okay. So they went to, they're identical twin boys, but they both went to Proximity and O. and their bellhops
I
this
think
summer.
that's super interesting.
And it is a fun job.
And I'm sure they meet all types of people
Yes.
because you have a lot of people who work in retail or food. I know I worked at a shoe store and a purse store when I was in college, but working at a hotel as a bellhop, that's a unique experience.
Well, and I love they have to wear a suit. They have to be there early, so it teaches a little bit of that because they were like,
Builds
we
maturity,
got to wear a
too.
suit. Yes, it does. Yes,
Definitely
it does.
Very nice.
All right, we're going to switch gears to a very interesting story here. If you have ever dropped something at the beach, you know the panic that sets in trying to find it. But what if it was an engagement ring? That's what happened to this couple. Myrtle Beach police say they were flagged down by a man from Tennessee that said he lost the ring in the stand. Him and his girlfriend were walking down the beach taking pictures when he realized the ring was no longer in his pocket. Thanks to K-9 officer goggles and a community member with a metal detector, they were able to find the ring, and of course, she said yes.
Yay.
I can't even imagine the panic that he was in, because
for
it's one
sure.
thing, you hear stories about people losing their wedding ring,
Yes.
but the engagement ring, he's probably been saving up money for this, planning it. Who knows if her family was out there to surprise her?
Yeah.
And it could have not happened had he not found the ring.
What I hate is just from the guy's perspective, you're building up to this and you want it to be just right, and then you lose the ring. Like, I can't imagine.
I know. And honestly, anything that is valuable.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right.
I've lost a phone before and I go straight into panic mode. I really do. I'm
Yes.
ready to shut everything down. Everybody, help me, everybody. You search there, you search there. You
true.
just immediately start panicking.
I've been in that situation. When I was in college on spring break, I was down in Miami and I went to this club where there was hundreds of people. And out of nowhere, I'm like, where's my phone? And I started panicking, and it was our first night there. I'm like, how am I going to contact my parents? How am I going to,
no.
save the numbers I've already collected while I've
Find
been out
it?
there? So I ran into one of the bouncers, and I said, I lost my phone. And he said, Does it have a Hello Kitty case? I said yes. He said, "Sweetie, you are in luck."
Oh my
in luck, because this
gosh.
never
You're
happens.
lucky.
Hallelujah. Have you ever been in a situation where you just try to keep your cool, like you don't try to panic
you have
because
to
of who
take a
you're
breath.
around?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, it's fine. I'll find it. And secretly,
Inside,
you're just
like
fighting.
Yep,
panicking.
yep.
You're like, I gotta let them know I'm cool, calm, and collected.
We had a story not too long, probably a year ago. Same thing, guy was gonna ask a girl to marry him, have the ring. And as he was asking her and putting it on her finger and she was shaking, she was nervous, they dropped it and they were on a pier. And it went down through the thing, but they found it because it landed where it was still kind of rocky.
Oh,
They
okay.
were so lucky.
Well, at least-
Because if the tide came in, gone.
It was gone.
At least they have a story to talk about. Like,
Yes.
you
That's
know, we
right.
almost lost the
So
ring.
did this couple too.
Yeah, right. Well,
We'll be
stick
right
with
back.
us. We'll be right back. With these hot summer temperatures, many families are looking for ways to stay cool. A trip to the beach or maybe your neighborhood pool might be a part of your weekend plans. As you enjoy the water fun, health experts want you to be aware of swimmer's ear. It's a bacterial infection typically caused by water that stays in the outer ear canal for a long period of time.
Swimmer's ear is typically associated with pain of the ear. The ear itself tends to be tender. People will say that it hurts to pull or to push on the outer part of their ear or to lie on that side. It can also be associated with pain in the temporomandibular joint here or even throat pain.
Shell Jaffrey is a certified physician assistant with Avant Health. She says swimmer's ear is more often seen in children, but can happen to adults too. It's not to be confused with a middle ear infection, which is also common in children.
Typically, a middle ear infection, while it causes ear pain and can also cause other symptoms like sore throat and neck pain and fever, typically the outer part of the ear is not tender. Moving that doesn't cause pain.
Swimmer's ear can be treated with antibiotic ear drops. If left untreated, it can lead to further infection.
I think the most important thing is to shake your ears out when you get out of the water. Don't stick anything smaller than your elbow in your ear. And if you're having ear pain that doesn't go away pretty quickly, especially with the use of an anti-inflammatory, to schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider.
If you are experiencing ear pain after being in the water, Jeffrey recommends taking ibuprofen or maybe even using a heating pad until you can get a proper diagnosis and treatment.
Well, if you're visiting the beautiful beaches of North Carolina, NC wildlife officials say you need to be on the lookout for a pretty but dangerous sea creature. They say 6 people were stung by Portuguese minnow along the coast this week. Oak Island Water Rescue posted on Facebook to warn people of the bright blue creatures that can sting days after ending up on the shore. Their stings are rarely deadly but cause pain for several days after. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll be right back.
Well, the heat's out there, the humidity, everything in place, and then now is the time of day that we see those pop-up thunderstorms. We're at 86 degrees at the airport in Greensboro. Raleigh's at 84. Fayetteville bumps it up to 88 degrees. And hour by hour tonight, we do see a chance of an isolated thunderstorm or two, seeing some of that in Alamance County right now. But we think we'll get down to the 70s as early as, say, 10 p.m. tonight. And overnight lows in the low 70s. All right, here's what the radar looks like, and it is starting to kick up a little bit of dust here. You can see one cell over here toward High Point, and that's right along 85, really, close to Thomasville. But this one over near Burlington and Rock Creek, that has triggered a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45. It includes the counties of Alamance, Chatham, Guilford, and Randolph, so it touches a little bit of all of those counties. Based on radar echoes, we can see that the hail within this could be about 0.8 of an inch in diameter. Wind gusts could go up to 60. We have seen that at the airport in Alamance County, a 48-mile-per-hour wind gust. So look for some heavier downpours with that and some winds as well in that one particular cell. Doesn't mean we won't see more, so we'll keep an eye out for you and let you know. Download the app. Don't forget that's totally free. You'll have a radar with warnings and watches in it right in your pocket wherever you go. That black broken line over the Carolinas means a trough of low pressure, which generally just means unsettled weather. So with that there's enough instability to trigger some of those showers. Tomorrow is only a 30% chance of showers, but notice the cold front coming through as we head into the weekend. That brings our rain chances up probably for Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even on Monday as well, as that entire system tries to clear the area. So get ready for that. Temperatures for the most part, though, we're a little bit all over the place in the next week, but still within range of where we should be. Normal high is in the upper 80s this time of the year. Our low tonight, 70, even with an isolated storm, as we are seeing now in Alamance County. 89 89 for your high tomorrow, and again a 30% chance of those late day storms. Rain chances up Saturday 50%, Sunday 60, and still 50% on Monday. But look at the temperatures as they cool down with that cold front. It's a slow moving system, but it'll take it a couple days to clear us. But 88 on Saturday, 86 Sunday. The coolest high of the week is on Monday at 84. And then next week we dry out a little bit and start to warm up. 88, mostly dry Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday 90, and we top out at 91 by Thursday of next week with a 20% chance of a shower.
Well, summer is here and so is watermelon. This United States Department of Agriculture estimates that watermelon sales brought in over $56 million in North Carolina in 2022. And all the rainy weekends and warm weather in the Carolinas might lead to more watermelon blossoms.
That's not the case for all plants, though. The Georgia peach crop has been severely hurt from the above average temperatures. A South Carolina farmer, Jason Rowland, says they got lucky with the watermelon production.
Usually happens because of, in this day and age, you've got climate change really affecting everything so badly. The weather, and this time we just got lucky with some good weather.
He says right now he has high expectations for his Labor Day harvest, but a good crop doesn't necessarily mean lower prices this year. This summer it could mean higher prices as grocery costs continue to rise.
So I asked you on Facebook, what is your favorite way to eat watermelon? Lots of people getting creative on this one. April and Chad Sane said cut into chunks and pour a little watermelon vodka over it. Let it sit overnight. Perfect snack for the beach or the pool. I know, a couple people went there. Cindy said cold and with salt. You know, my mother used to do that, put a little salt on it. Yeah. Maureen says scoop out the inside of it and then fill it with grapes, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, and then put pieces of watermelon back on top and put a little rum in there in the mixture. And then Dylan said throw that in the yard and get a cantaloupe. Not a watermelon fan. I do not like cantaloupe though.
I love
Yeah.
cantaloupe.
I don't.
I don't really like cantaloupe, and I also really don't like
You don't like
watermelon. I'm
melons?
gonna just go ahead and say it.
Not a
I
melon
am.
person?
Honeydew?
But that Georgia peach,
Yeah.
because I'm from Georgia.
Honeydew melon? You don't like that either? No melon.
No,
Okay.
no melon.
I like watermelon.
I do
mean,
too.
I like it so much I don't really have to do anything extra to it, as long as it's pretty sweet. But when I was younger, we would put the salt on it. But speaking of watermelon, last night I was on Instagram and I saw this recipe to make your own sherbet from home with
love sherbet
with
now.
3 ingredients. So you might like this. It
Yeah.
was frozen watermelon chunks, lime, and honey. And you put it in a blender, and I'm gonna try to make that this weekend.
So I'll tell you
Make me
one
a cup.
thing. Scoop out a watermelon and put it in a blender, blend it up, and then strain it into a bowl. Like a normal sized watermelon gives you a huge mixing bowl full of pure watermelon juice. And then you can just keep that in the fridge. You may not, if you don't like watermelon, you may not like it, but you and I would love this.
I'm bringing this up because is this the martini,
It-
the
without
famous
the
watermelon
vodka.
martini you've
Yes.
been talking about?
Yeah, my wife's friends love, so I'll make watermelon martinis for them. But the kids like just the watermelon
Yeah.
juice. Over ice, it's good.
You might be able to change her mind though.
With that,
He says he's
But
like the
I'm willing to
mastermind
try. I'm
behind it.
always open to trying stuff, so I can't say no to that. But I'll try it.
the texture thing sometimes people don't like,
Yeah.
which I love watermelon.
Yeah.
Well, humans aren't the only ones that love watermelon. Some elephants at a Texas zoo got to chow down on some of the summer staples. Take a look at that. Community members showed up to watch the huge animals devour watermelons, but this is just a treat compared to their normal diet.
The watermelon is just a teeny tiny portion of their diet. They get a total of 150 pounds of hay in the morning and 150 pounds of hay in the afternoon, along with a cooler full of produce and different types of grain that we give them.
The keeper says it is not only a tasty snack, it's also enrichment for them as well. They plan to keep having Watermelon Wednesdays with other animals as well. Love me some watermelon.
Look at that.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric, Sydney, and Lauren with you today.
Hello.
Getting closer to the weekend, ladies.
Closer to the weekend. I'm hoping for a little bit of a cool down. I know we're dipping down a little bit, but isn't enough for, you know, a break from what we've been feeling. Yeah, to notice.
We will. So yeah, we'll be in the mid 80s by Monday. But the big thing is that we'll have additional rain, so it definitely will feel cooler if you're lucky enough to get those showers. Yeah, we got some thunderstorms out there right now, though. Yeah, can we talk about that real quick? Let's do that. And the rain, the thunderstorms really popped up in the last about 30 to 40 minutes, just kind of out of nowhere. But that's what's happening right now. It's that time of the day. And there's no real front moving through yet. That will happen this weekend, but for now, it's just a hit or miss pop-up thunderstorm. It's 86 in Greensboro, 85 Winston-Salem, 85 in High Point. Look at the big difference, and not that big of a difference in location. If you look from Burlington to Greensboro, that's a 12-degree drop in temperature, so guess who was seeing the rain? Burlington getting some heavier showers. In fact, we even had some wind gusts upwards close to 50 miles per hour down that way. 70 should be the low tonight with an isolated storm possibility, already seeing that, and then partly sunny skies. We're getting some showers popping up, widely scattered is probably the best way to term it. If we zoom in here and look, you can see right in the heart of Greensboro, there's a light shower there, a heavier one over High Point, and then probably the strongest we've seen so far is that cell that's just sort of lingering but back building to the west, closer into Guilford County. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Alamance, Chatham, Guilford, and Randolph all encompassed with that polygon there. Wind speeds within there, the gust could go upwards of 60 miles per hour. We do see lightning within that cell as well. And if we were to see hail, some of the radar returns that we're getting the information show that those hailstones could be about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Haven't had visual report of that yet, but it's something that we'll watch for. That possibility does exist. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, kind of the rule. We'll see that again tomorrow afternoon, albeit slight, a 30% chance for tomorrow. And as we see the cold front kind of overtake us for the weekend, what does that mean? It means better rain chances. And here's what it looks like. With your 7-day, we go to 50% chance on Saturday, 60% Sunday, still a 50% on Monday, and highs drop down. 88 Saturday, 86 Sunday, 84 Monday. Dry next week and warming back to the low 90s for Wednesday and Thursday.
Eric, thank you. This month is Disabled Pride Month in the United States. It celebrates not only the people living with disabilities, but also the anniversary of Americans with Disabilities Act.
33 years ago this month, it was signed into law. It ensures people with disabilities have the same rights and opportunities as everyone else.
Many advocates use the month to try and change the misconceptions people have about people with disabilities. Disability rights advocate Melissa Blake wants people to know it's okay to say disabled. It's not a bad word. According to the ADA National Network, approximately 54 million Americans have a disability, and they aren't just physical. All people with disabilities have different experiences, but Disability Pride Month can help them feel supported.
Triad communities are offering chances to celebrate during Disability Pride Month. The Accessible Festival returns Friday to Winston-Salem for the first time since 2020. The festival promotes resources and services that help people with disabilities. They'll celebrate by having a Mardi Gras parade in July. The Accessible Festival will be at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds.
North Carolina is celebrating the 1.3 million residents with disabilities. They will host a virtual Accessibility for All event July 20th. It will be all about how assistive technology helps people gain access to rights and opportunities like independent living and economic self-sufficiency. The event is open to the public, and there will be a question and answer portion. If you would like to attend but are deaf or hard of hearing, don't worry, there will be American and Spanish Sign Language interpreters. Those with visual impairments will also have access to a call-in audio description line. For more information, head over to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Accessibility for All page.
If you have ever wanted to keep bees, you have the chance to learn. Asheboro Public Library is offering the basics of beekeeping, hosted by horticulture agent Cody Craddock. Now, Craddock will be offering beekeeping tips, share information about hive supplies, and answer questions. It will be at the Asheboro Public Library on July 27th at 6:30. The talk is free and the public is invited.
You could find your new furry best friend soon. 10 animal shelters in North Carolina will be giving away pets for $50 or less starting today. This is part of the Empty the Shelters event, which intends to help pets find their new home quickly. The Forsyth Humane Society and Rockingham County Animal Shelter are part of the event. And this event comes at the perfect time. The days after July 4th are always the busiest for animal shelters. The loud bangs from fireworks often cause animals to panic and run away. Be sure to adopt a new friend, of course, if you can.
You've been on the beach enjoying the sand when suddenly a piece of glass cuts your foot. Even with people cleaning up beaches, they can only do but so much. They might miss sharp pieces of glass or cans, not to mention the tiny toxic microplastics seep into the ground.
That's why EcoClean Solutions uses a beach cleaning robot, also known as Beebot. The robot specializes in cleaning beaches better than humans.
The Beebot is a solar and battery powered beach sifting robot that's remote controlled and can dig down between 1 and 4 inches underneath the surface of the sand to pick up things that human powered beach cleaning just can't do because they just can't see it.
All right, so the bot uses caterpillar tracks to be able to move in any direction and not disrupt the sand. It uses a sand sifting mechanism to find the things you just don't want to step on. It stores the unwanted material so that people can come in to sort through. While picking up the larger pieces of trash is important, the little pieces can do just as much damage.
The thing is they perpetuate in the environment and break down in the sun to small pieces, and this is really harmful to wildlife and really toxic in this state. And so volunteers skating outside and enjoying the morning together and picking up this litter is really critical.
Yeah, I really love that. I mean, sometimes you want to go to the beach and you want to enjoy the niceness of the sand, but it's really difficult when you're stepping on little small things. And just like we were saying and reading, I mean, sometimes it's so easy to miss because they're so little, you know?
Even like some seashells get sharp, you know, and this would be picking those up as well. I love the fact that if they had like a platoon of these things, they could just patrol the beach every few hours, keep it nice and clean.
Yeah, like get out of the way, the robot's coming through.
That's
or
right,
the
let Beebot through.
I think it's a great idea. You know, the beach is so big and so large, and like they said, there's only but so much people can do, but I would love to see this even beyond the beach, like in the community. I mean, have you ever been to a parking lot and you just see trash everywhere?
Everywhere.
You know, people, you know, as humans, we should be doing our job to not litter, but I think some assistance would be nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
you got to clean up after yourself. That's what Mama said.
Well, we have a wonderful update for you. Danny Chocolate Myers rang the cancer victory bell today. The former gasman for Dale Earnhardt is in clinical remission. The Winston-Salem native was diagnosed with a rare form of lymphoma last year. There's still a tough road ahead for Myers, but doctors say his cancer is treatable. Of course, we'll be rooting for Chocolate to just keep on fighting. We'll be right back.
Oh, whoa. What is that? Ice cold milk. Everybody's on threads now. We don't even know what we're doing here. Like we need something else to be added. July 7th, it is World Chocolate Day. And while the holiday itself isn't really old, chocolate is.
Yummy.
The Mayan culture used the cacao tree to make a chocolate drink. We're talking 300 BC to 500 AD. Chocolate became a commodity to be traded. The Aztecs had it in the 1200s, and the chocolate ended up in Europe in the 1500s. It was mostly still used as a chocolate drink. It was in the 1830s, a British chocolate maker created the first form of solid chocolate meant for eating and enjoying. That was J.S. Fry and Sons. The Nestle Company began in Switzerland with its newest invention of milk chocolate. That was in 1875. And of course in the U.S., Milton Hershey began selling the Hershey bar, making chocolate affordable for the average Joe. That was 1895. Fast forward to today, and right here in the Triad, the First Presbyterian Church of Kernersville has a chocolate egg ministry. It's been going on for 32 years, and we're talking millions of chocolate eggs.
You can't walk out of here and not have at least one.
I mean, chocolate,
Yes.
right? So the history of chocolate to what do you like to eat most today? How do you like your chocolate, friends?
That's really hard to say
Yeah, that's
because I
tough.
like it in so many ways. A brownie, maybe just the little kisses, the white chocolate ones. I don't know.
Yep.
So many different ways.
A brownie, and then we gotta heat it up just a little bit, but not too much.
With
And
vanilla
then with
ice
some
cream.
ice cream on the
Yes,
side.
yes.
It's
I
so
could go
good.
with that. I can go with that.
All right, well, I asked folks on my Facebook page, hey, how do you like your chocolate? And Leah said, all of the above. One thing I'm not giving up is chocolate. Melita said, chocolate is good regardless of how you eat it. Rick chimed in with ice cream and pie are my favorite always. There's no bad way to eat chocolate. Julia said, Hershey's bar, ice cream with chocolate fudge, brownies, warm chocolate chip cookies. Can you tell I have a sweet tooth? And Randy ended it all with saying, with wine.
Point blank period.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
They
All
do
that
say that
options.
goes together, a red wine and
Oh,
chocolate.
absolutely.
It just goes together.
I went to a winery in the area here that did a chocolate and wine pairing. Like they have that on certain nights.
I'll have to
so.
try that, chocolate and wine. See, I'm really not a big candy person, Tanya,
Me
at
either.
all. But one thing that I will eat is chocolate.
I mean,
That's it.
you can do as generic as just take some Hershey chocolate and pair it with some red wine, right? But like if you have like a good piece of chocolate cake or you have a really decadent brownie, like you said, you
My
should try
mom,
that.
do you remember, I guess they were bundt cakes, but they
Yes.
were round.
Yes.
My mom used to make, they're just like you buy the kit or whatever, the packet at the grocery store, but she made one that had coconut cake inside with chocolate cake around it and a drizzled vanilla
drizzle.
icing.
That
It
sounds
was
so
so
good.
good.
I would also like to try like a chocolate pie too.
I like chocolate
Have
pie.
you tried the Hershey pies? Those Hershey pies, you can get them from Burger King or even from the
Interesting.
frozen food
I
section.
haven't
Right?
tried that.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity with the
Yeah.
chocolate. This is your
Yes.
excuse, friends. Happy Chocolate Day for the world. Go and have something somewhere today. Okay.
It's Thursday, and that means a News to Review. And this week, we are taking a ride, a joyride to be specific.
All right, well, when childhood friends and some other eccentric characters come together to help one of their own, things can get a little messy.
Yeah, film critic Manning Franks has a look at the film and if the journey they take leads to a box office smash.
There are some films whose titles are so incredibly on point that they work as the best descriptor for the movie, more so than any synopsis ever could. Joyride is one of those movies. In terms of raunchy, in-your-face comedies, this female-led ensemble promised a good time, not a long one. So buckle up, hold on tight, because Joyride is the most aptly named film of 2023.
To our daughter, it's a big deal going back to your birth country.
We used to talk about it all the time. A grand adventure to find your birth mother.
Who needs more parents when I have the two best parents in the world?
With the opportunity to go to her homeland of China for a business trip, up-and-coming Asian-American lawyer Audrey enlists the help of her childhood best friend and artist Lolo, her college friend turned actor Kat, and Lolo's strange cousin Deadeye.
You know, I think I get it.
To accompany her on this trip. However, when the business visit turns into a disaster for the ages, the four friends are forced to trek across China in a debaucherous adventure of self-discovery and identity. Unfortunately, we don't get nearly enough ensemble comedies led by women, specifically women of color, as we should, so it's a delight to be able to say that Joyride is an absolute blast. Centered by arguably one of the best comedic foursomes to date, Joyride is propelled forward by the group's unparalleled comedic chemistry that boasts jokes that go a mile a minute. Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, Sabrina Wu, and Stephanie Hsu are undeniable stars that all bring an expressive individuality to each of their characters. Like most comedies, jokes will land and others will crash and burn. Yet, despite a few bumps in the road that come from a script that feels unnecessarily rushed at times, the raunchy fun still cannot be quelled. From risque jokes to farcical parody, Joyride ensures there is a laugh to be had for everyone. As mentioned, the ensemble really brings the film together, and even though it's still a comedy, the four give it enough heart to allow some much-needed emotional, dramatic weight. Joyride is the comedy of the summer, for three reasons. One, it is gut-bustingly funny and doesn't apologize for being over the top. Two, behind those laughs is a beautiful story about friendship and family. And three, it highlights the importance of racial representation in comedic film. It is a win, win, win. I'm giving Joyride a 2 approved. You can watch it only in theaters.
2 approved.
That's
we
right.
like that.
The clapboard.
Well, I'm excited to see this because I know the directors and one of the film is the director from Crazy Rich Asians. I don't know if you've seen
I
that.
have seen that movie.
Yes,
I've
that's very
seen
funny.
it 10 times. Like, I literally love it. And I teared up a little bit, which I don't tear up in movies that much because I like action and stuff, but that makes me excited to see that movie. So.
I noticed Ashley Park was in the movie. Do you watch
Emily
in Paris?
Yeah.
So, and she's really, really talented, really funny, funny girl. So.
I like, and I like this because I don't know who that is. And sometimes it's good for me to go see a movie when I don't know who they are because you don't have the expectation, oh, here's the funny guy, or here's the, and then you're disappointed if it's not what you think it should be.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that Manning does these reviews because I learned so much about what's out in theaters. I think because I watch a lot of streaming services that I don't necessarily know what's coming out.
It's
so
nothing
I didn't even know that this was in the works.
It's nothing like the full movie experience.
Yeah.
So I'm
No,
talking
I agree.
popcorn. I'm the one. Popcorn. Give me some large Coke.
Yep.
All of it.
You have
I'm
your
going all
chair
out every time.
rolled all
I
the way
love
back.
those.
Yep.
We went to see the new Spider-Man movie the other night as a family, the whole thing. It is crazy good.
Really?
And the soundtracks.
My friend said it was really
It
good
is
too.
really
Yeah.
good. There's a lot going on. You have to pay close attention, but they have little tiny snippets of every Spider-Man that you've ever thought of, even from like the late 90s, the Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Some of that is in there, the 1960s cartoon.
Wow.
They pay homage to every Spider-Man.
The last movie I saw in the theater was Cocaine Bear, which was really funny. I know some of
haven't
y'all were
seen it.
surprised
I would
that I
love to
went
see
to go
that.
see that,
I
but
think it's
I
funny.
still want to see The Little Mermaid.
I saw it.
I know that you went to go see it. I still want to see it.
And?
I had plans of seeing it last weekend, taking myself out on a little date there.
You
but
do it. You know I'm all for that.
Yeah.
You do it.
Very good.
But yes,
All right.
it was really, really good.
We got to talk about thunderstorms because, yes, we have some out there. And they've been pop up, right? It's kind of the same old, really, for this time of the year. It's what we expect this time of the day and this time of the year. I wanted to show you this just for one reason and one reason only. Wind gusts are not an issue today, but that 48 there, that's from the thunderstorm that we were watching a little bit earlier. Now it's starting to lose a little bit of its steam, and the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire, I'm pretty sure here. But we see the showers around High Point, that's still fairly strong. So in between High Point and Thomasville right there, that's where we see the strongest storm. Notice that these will develop and then they kind of drift one way or the other, or they'll build one way. And the one that was over High Point is really building more back to the west as it progresses. What we had in Burlington now, that has since just become an area of showers. No severe thunderstorm warnings for that particular section of North Carolina. Overall, we do see the scattered showers and storms, and that's the way it's going to be, right? It's that time of the year. We keep that slight rain chance in. Now, take that with a grain of salt because this cold front will change things for the weekend. And I think Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even into Monday, we'll see elevated storm chances. That would be more of a 50 to 60% chance than the normal 30 to 40% that we get. So does that mean you'll have a rainy weekend? Probably not, but you have a better chance of seeing more in the way of those thunderstorms across the region than not. And with the passage of that front, even though it becomes somewhat stationary toward the end of the day on Saturday, kind of lingers over us for a day or two after that, we still see some cooler air coming in. The rain will help with that, and then the high pressure you see to the north, that will also usher in some cooler air. All right, so we have a while till we get there though, right? 70 degrees for that overnight low tonight, and partly cloudy skies. Winds, not too bad. They're out of the south, and they'll be light. The humidity levels are still way up there, so look for dew points probably in the upper 60s and lower 70s. It's just sticky. I mean, that's the way it is. Partly sunny, 89 tomorrow. It's going to be another hot day, although keep in mind, that is the hottest average high temperature that we see in the year. So we are kind of at the peak of averages when it comes to high temperatures. In another 2 or 3 weeks, we'll start to see those averages drop down. You know what that means? That means we have to enjoy summer while we can. 89 tomorrow, 88 on Saturday, increased cloud cover with that 50-50 shot of rain or thunderstorms. It's a 60% chance on Sunday. Cooler high at 86, and the coolest day of the week, Monday. That's not bad. You look at that's 5 degrees below normal. 84 degrees with a 50% chance of late day storms. We'll dry out next week. Mainly dry for Tuesday, Wednesday. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny, 88 and 90, and our temperatures build back in again. 91 on Thursday. It'll be sticky out there, and we'll keep a 20% chance of a late day storm.
One, two, three. 1, 2.
So it wasn't like a lung puncture, obviously. Hi, I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, checking the mic, check, check, check.
I am recording. Back in 2021, Lexington City Schools implemented the policy for
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Be out there. Hey, we're doing a mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5.
It's time for my 2 cents, Mom Edition. Do you invite the whole class to your child's birthday party? I saw a viral TikTok video sparking this debate. A mother invited her child's 25 classmates to a birthday party. Only 2 RSVP'd. In a subsequent video, the mom stood by her decision, saying she wanted everyone to feel included. I applaud her for that. I feel you do invite the whole class, especially in elementary school. Otherwise, it's a hard truth to swallow. Some children never will be invited to a birthday party. If there are multiple classes in a grade, then I think inviting only your child's class is fine, but stick to only that class. And avoid handing out invitations at school, and try not to host the party on a school day. A class party alternative, if cost is a factor, is a one-on-one special day with you and your child. No distractions, just your full undivided attention. Or try a small family party like we do. I still vividly remember a day in 4th grade. Half the girls were talking about going to the hair salon after school for a classmate's party. Well, when the bell rang, I excitedly ran to the car, where my mom had to gently break the news, and my heart, I wasn't invited. The counter-argument to inviting everyone is children must learn they're not always going to be invited, and it's going to hurt. Yes, that's true, but they'll get plenty of those tough lessons in middle school, high school, and adulthood. Why not set a foundation of inclusion in their younger years and prep them for those hard moments and how to respond? Parents, there is always time for us to teach, and we must work together to send our children this message. It is cool to be kind. That's just my 2 cents. I'll see you on the Good Morning Show tomorrow. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
A Winston-Salem woman lives to tell about surviving a shooting. A stray bullet hit her in the chest while she was watching 4th of July fireworks.
Police say someone started shooting along North Main Street